Hello and welcome to another one of my F1 Manager series. This is going to be a weird one for me to film. It is like 10 o'clock at night, but I accidentally just took like a 3-hour nap when I laid down, so I have no clue. I might get through this full race weekend. I might start passing out again after a single practice session. But either way, let's beforehand run through everything that's been kind of happening within the last race weekend episode. So if you haven't already watched it, please do go watch my Emmy episode so that there's no spoilers, because I'm going to spoil it within a couple seconds. There should be a link kind of up in the corner. Yeah, it was an extremely exciting race. We almost won. We almost won it. Not in the same capacity of Bahrain, where we just had lucky timing to come out right behind Verstappen and could have maybe hung on with him if not for a lockup. We were legit fast. Pierre was just having an absolutely amazing weekend. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, he put up like a time that was good enough for the front row in Q2. It was just ridiculously fast he was once it got to the qualifying sessions for Pierre. So yeah, looking at the standings before Miami, you can see I now have little leader things going up that I'm gonna try and put. So yeah, going into Miami, it was Red Bull leading and Verstappen leading the way. That's not really too big of a huge shock. And after Miami, there's quite a little bit of a shuffle around because it was such a good race. Gasly climbed up, Albon dropped down a little bit, Charles Leclerc continues to make his climb, and Sergio Perez actually took the lead in the standings now. And in the teams, I believe we passed Alpine, and Ferrari jumped Alfa Romeo. So with the form that came in that race, I'm starting to wonder if like a P5 or a P4 is possible. I know the goal was P6 by my standard, P7 by the board standard. Whoa. That's gross. But yeah, I'm starting to wonder if we can maybe aim for higher than that. I think P3s are the question. Those, like, Red Bull and Mercedes are clearly our top two teams, and Ferrari, they were really bad at the start of the season, but their development has been fast and strong, so I imagine they're gonna be a strong P3 favorite. But I'm wondering if we can maybe hit P4. It'll be a stretch goal. I think P6 is a much more realistic target. But yeah, I'm wondering. So looking at my power rankings now beforehand, I wonder if I even updated my scouting, I don't know. But I do know that I think now at the top is Lewis Hamilton on both categories, yes. Yep, and Nick De Vries got himself into the battle a little bit. I know he's ranked way too highly because he's only done one practice session. Excuse me. And that practice session is really skewed because I didn't have another Mercedes driver to compare him with. Since he replaced George Russell and Lewis Hamilton crashed out of the session, the only driver I could compare De Vries with was Perez, since that's the only driver who beat De Vries in that one practice session. So De Vries is probably going to be sitting up there for most of the season, unless or until he does a second session. So same story in my scouting that put him up really high, and Pierre has once again passed Alex. He's taken it back to be the top driver with our team for this. Yeah, still a long way to go. I think I put upon myself that after Spain is when things are gonna start to clear up. Although who knows? Everything's jumping around every race right now. So that leads into car performance. Since then, I've made a little bit of adjustment to my parameters for measuring. So I've lowered the importance on cooling, and I've lowered the importance on like these 5, which are more about aerodynamics rather than what is it? Yeah, is it aerodynamics or air balance or whatever it is, rather than actual straight performance. So it didn't actually make much of a difference, and a couple teams brought upgrades anyways. So going into Spain, I think the only team with big upgrades was Haas. So they actually jumped up above AlphaTauri. And yeah, Haas had upgrades, Alfa Romeo had upgrades, not significant clearly. And both Alpine and Ferrari had upgrades. Again, not very significant ones though. So yeah, I know us and McLaren swapped positions, but when I checked back, it's like we should have been above them anyways. Once I made my little parameters switch. And yeah, so going into Spain, looks like there's a clear top 2 teams. It's still Red Bull, but Mercedes is going to be very much right with them, followed by Alpine, followed by Ferrari. And then it looks like we could be at the bottom end of competing for points with Alfa Romeo. And then Haas could be there, AlphaTauri could be there. Looks like McLaren's going to struggle again this weekend, and Aston Martin's just going to be sitting very much at the back. But then again, who knows, I could be dead wrong. Tsunoda had an amazing weekend in Miami, and even though their car was still very poorly rated. So with all that said, let's get ourselves into practices, but if you aren't already, please do follow my social medias and like and subscribe the video. And now let's get ourselves into practice. Okay. Alright, so at the end of FP1, you can see we put Théo Pourchaire in Pierre Gasly's car for this weekend. Well, at least for this session, sorry. And it was a good session for him. He actually was faster than Albon by like 3/10. I know all of last season, since he did a lot of FP1s, he was pretty much on pace with Albon, but always just a ever bit slightly slower than him. He was usually keeping it within 10th, so now that he's like 3/10 faster than him in practice, that should really bode well for him in his development. I'm kind of hoping he can push for a seat full-time next year on a team outside of us. I think he has a shot, at least. So I might release him at the end of this season, simply because I think he might be worthy of getting a seat with another team. Potentially. We'll see. We'll have to see how the roulette kind of goes out. But yeah, with all that said, let's get ourselves into FP2. Okay, so at the end of FP3, I remembered to turn off my music this time. So we had a pretty good session. I wouldn't... P7 and P10, Alex had a good session. I wouldn't say I gave him a glory run, but for his second stint, since he already had 100% acclimatization, part knowledge, 100% setup, I gave him like a half fuel run. So instead of doing like 22 laps, which I would normally do for a stint, I gave him like 11 laps. So basically, let him make himself look good, kind of thing. Yeah, so P7, P10, and let's get ourselves into qualifying now. Okay, so after everyone's first laps, I think we are safe in P7 and P11. I know Albon did face some traffic. He got stuck behind George Russell like through the start of Sector 2, but I think he should be safe. Yeah, Tsunoda would have to take off almost 4/10 from his time, and I just do not see that happening, so I'm just going to speed up to the end of Q1. Tsunoda and Stroll are the ones ones who put us on the edge of our seats, so that's who we'll watch. I could see Joe having a good lap.
Anyway, good job. Thanks very much.
Schumacher with a lockup on his final run, so he is out.
Was that a lockup on the track?
So let's see, Magnussen's still comfortably behind us. Ricardo's still comfortably behind us. Yeah, we're pretty much safe. Yep, Tsunoda is out. Where's Vettel? And Stroll is out. We're safe. We're very safe. Gasly's once again is having a great qualifying session. Ahead of Albon by 5/10. Oh! Vettel drops back as Zhou jumps up to 15th. Let's see if Vettel can take it back. Vettel takes it back. Latifi moves up past Schumacher, who will be in P20 since he had a lockup on that final run. Okay. Yep, so out in Q1, two AlphaTauris and Zhou and Stroll in 16 18, both Aston Martins in P17 and P20, and just the one Haas, Nicholas Latifi. He's, yeah, like 5/10 slower than Magnussen. Alright, let's get into Q2. Okay, so after our first runs of Q2, we are currently sitting in P7 and P11. I have a feeling that once again, Gasly is probably safe to get himself into Q3 just on that first run on used tires alone. He's just been absolutely on fire for Miami and now Spain. Albon, on the other hand, will have to do a second run. He did get held up by Norris a little bit. Again, same area, beginning of Sector 2. Although Norris got his karma being held up on his lap by then Albon, as well as, I think it was Verstappen. Yeah, it was one of the Red Bulls. But yeah, so I think I'm going to leave Gasly in. Just absolutely let him save his tires. And I will send out Alex, though. Just gonna have to get the timing right. Let's speed it up a touch. So I gotta wait for about, 22 seconds after, so at about 2:30 is when I'm gonna send out Alex. And I'm going to leave Pierre in. I'm going to take the risk. It makes me nervous. Could be absolutely screwing him. So you know what? Actually, we will send out Gasly, but we're gonna wait in case we decide to cancel his lap. And we're going to actually test a little bit of a theory with Gasly, actually. That's what we're going to do. So right where I have Gasly is, I think, the latest potential point where he won't come in contact with the guy who's at the front. Let's speed this up. Let's see, I can cancel Gasly's lap if I want to. Okay, so we had even more time than I thought.
We've just
A
had
lot
a
more
car
time.
run wide.
Alright, so Norris is out. That's what it is. Only 2 times. So they're all getting their final times in. Oh, this is going to be the one who really sets if we get in or not. But it looks like he got held up by Vettel. Oh, finish her up. Oh, Albon's out. I didn't even realize. I wasn't paying attention. Albon is out, barely. Gasly's safe. I'm gonna let him finish his lap. Oh, well, I have no choice to. He's already gone past. Yeah, difference of 0.5 exactly between the two of them. That's a big gap. That's a big gap, Alex. We could have let Pierre stay in. He was so comfortably ahead. That's a shame. So yeah, out in Q2 is Albon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Norris, and Vettel. 3/100ths of a second, stopping us from getting into Q3. So we'll have to give Alex a bold strategy, I guess. We'll see. Okay, so after everyone's first runs of Q3, we currently have Pierre sitting in P5. Although Russell, he probably just made himself a few enemies, as he definitely, at the least, he straight up blocked Verstappen, like right in these turns right here. And then he got the karma coming back to him as he then got blocked by Verstappen here, and I believe he approached the end, like he got caught up to Alonso and Leclerc in the final sector. So yeah, I think Russell can improve, I think Verstappen can improve, I think Hamilton can improve too. I think he ever so slightly got held up by Russell, like just in the final turns as he was catching him. So I'm definitely, I won't be shocked if we fall down to maybe something like P7. That's my current expectations. Yeah, I think the Red Bulls are faster than us. I think at least Leclerc is faster than us. I think the Mercedes are faster than us. And then I think Alonso might also be faster than us. But right now, that's really it. So we're just waiting for the queue to start. Playing this game of chicken. And then we can send out Gasly. So, since they're leaving a touch earlier, I want to go right now. Okay, so Gasly left a little bit later than I would have wanted, but he should be still well and easily safe from being caught up to by Bottas. Let's just go 4 times it. So now we can watch all the final times come across. Bottas is done. Stays P10. Sainz is done. Stays P7. Alonso is done. Stays P4. Russell jumps up to P5. Perez maintains at least temporary pole position. Ocon stays P9. Hamilton stays P3. Verstappen should jump up. Verstappen jumps up to P4. Leclerc stays P2. And Gasly, do we stay P7? P7, just like I projected. Yeah, the Red Bulls are faster, the Mercedes were faster, and then Alonso and Leclerc. Just like I expected. Okay, alright. That brings us now to strategy. Which I feel like there's a couple options for this race, but they're all very, very, very similar to each other. So, let's speed this up, get to the final run through of the order, and then let's see the qualifying position. So Perez takes clean sweep of P1s across qualifying for pole. Leclerc gets another P2. Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen, Alonso, Russell, Gasly. So I think that's the same top 7 from Miami. I think this is a very, very similar to order to Miami. I think the only difference are, I think Albon was in Q3 and Ocon wasn't, if I'm remembering correct. Oh no, Sainz wasn't in Q3 in Miami. That's right. So Alex starts off that group in P11. I do wish there was the old rules in effect where all of these guys had to use the tires from Q2. I liked that rule. I really liked that rule. It definitely made qualifying more interesting. It made strategies more interesting within the race. Like, yeah, I think they need to go back to that rule. It definitely made things a lot more exciting. And yeah, so Albon. Okay, let's get into the race. Okay, so this is going to be take 2 of me starting this race, as I realized towards the end of the first lap, my strategies didn't load into the race. So I've got my drivers on 2 very, very different strategies from each other. I've got Pierre on what I think will be the best strategy for this race, going on the mediums while everyone's sorting themselves out, and then attacking on the softs for the rest of the race. And he also has an extra set of barely used softs if there's a lot of chaos going on. I've prepared for a lot of different options. And then Alex, I'm going for a very different. The game is telling me it's wrong, but I'm gonna stick with it. It worked for us really, really well last year, a one-stop strategy. I think last year I might have done a soft to a medium. Again, completely contradicting what the game was telling me to do, but this year I'm gonna go keep it a little bit safer with the mediums to hard. And at the same time, if for whatever reason it's not working, or he's blocking Pierre after his pit stop, then we can always change it up. And again, I've got lots of strategy options for him too, including potentially going onto a 3-stop. So I've saved it all with my strategies just in case this time. Let's make sure they're both on mediums when this race starts. And let's try this again. Oh, actually, 1 second, I gotta get them to their race modes. So medium, soft, soft, medium, hard. Let's make sure this isn't broken.
Hope I'm not tempting fate here. This is it! It's the Spanish Grand Prix!
Looks like he's on his mediums this time.
And it's lights out, and away we go!
Medium, soft, soft, medium, hard. Alright, everything's as it should be. Let's try this again. So let's see. Perez, Hamilton, and Russell are on used softs. Okay, so there has been a little bit of difference this time around. Because I know Bottas, I believe it was all unused tires last time around.
Keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Here's the replay. Now look at this. It's Pierre
Gasly in
Gasly.
turn 1. It just held on around the outside. And took him into turn 2.
Gaining a position there. They make it look so easy.
Stick around turn 3. So, you know what, I'm already happy with that.
Yeah,
Gets
take
to
it
the
easy.
Top 6.
Okay.
Okay, alright, keep aggressive. Get around Alonso. If we can get past Alonso and just in a train behind
And a
Verstappen,
new
same as the
position
last race,
just gained by Williams.
that puts us in an amazing position.
Let's take
Okay,
a closer look.
Albon's cruising
Now
past
watch
people.
this. Here's the moments
Got past
involving
Bottas
Albon.
and Sainz like within the same little stretch.
Push a bit more.
Copy.
Let's watch Gasly. I want him to get around Alonso. Standard. Balanced. Neutral.
Oh, and
Standard.
Ferrari just gained a
Balanced.
place.
Neutral. That's alright.
Let's have a look.
Let's see where
Let's have another look. Science is the focus here.
the sectors. Yeah, we just have the inside line. That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's just stay in 2 times view. I think Gasly's in good position now. Let's get onto interval, because this DRS train is about to get going. Who's on what tires? It's going to make a difference. Wow, those softs are really falling away already.
DRS enabled.
Bottas, I think that's where the gap's gonna start. That's where the DRS train is gonna go. Although Perez has actually already pulled away from Hamilton. So it's probably going to be an easy victory for Perez as he grows his championship lead. Now we just kind of fall in line as we wait for these strategies to play out. It's a nice long race. Allows me to in real time just update some of my strategy stuff I didn't notice I hadn't yet. Gasly is starting to lose Verstappen actually. Yeah, we're gonna fall out of the DRS zone right here. Straight line speed makes a big difference right here. And because it doesn't have the slow ending, it doesn't group everyone back together as much as it was doing in Miami. And these corners really start to separate everyone. Okay, so it's not going to be a DRS train like it was in Miami, at least not as much. That's not helpful to us, because I think we were a huge team that benefited from it. See, Albon's already fallen away from Sainz completely. So we're gonna have to do the conserve roll. Alonso's gonna overtake here. And we're able to hold off Ricardo.
Alpine just advanced.
Yeah. That's cool. Alonso's not fast enough to completely run away from us. So I don't know if it helped us or hurt us when we got past him early. I think it helped. Doesn't hurt to take a position as long as the battling isn't too intense. And where's Ricardo? Yeah, he's just not fast enough to get past Albon on that straight. Let's see how Alonso does. Yeah, he's still falling away from Verstappen ever so slowly. Looks like it's going to be a Perez win, and then these three battling for podium spots. But if we can maybe take a P5, I think we can maybe battle for P5. So Albon's starting the gap back here. Let's watch Ricardo as he passes around the outside. Gasly's not able to do anything against Alonso at this
And
point.
McLaren with a great
We're
overtake.
keeping pace with them. We're not falling away, but we're not
Let's take a look at the replay.
we're not catching up
Daniel
either. So you know what?
Ricciardo
I can live
involved
with that. Daniel's on the soft tires.
Gaining a position.
That could be the difference maker there.
Seems to have been a lockup. Let's see
Norris
what
locked
happened
up.
there. Now
Uh-oh.
just take a look at the McLaren.
Ooh, okay.
That lockup could have cost them dearly.
It just saved.
The team are
I mean, that's more
really
realistic, I suppose, than him just absolutely blasting into the wall, but still, that's annoying. Alright, I don't mind this yet, we're just kind of conserving kind of thing. And then Albon's doing his own thing. Let's see where we are for the leader. Already 12 seconds
And
behind.
there's an overtake from Williams. Here's
Oh,
the
I didn't even
replay.
notice that.
Now we see the Williams here.
Same move around the outside. Just completely outbraked him. They weren't even side by side. It's a great move. Latifi's just so slow. He's like 3 seconds behind Norris, who had to go off track. That's embarrassing. Oh, Gasly's going for the move. Yeah. I don't mind him going for the move if it's easy, but I'd rather him hold position kind of thing if so we don't lose time to that group in front. Because Alonso's doing a good job of keeping pace. And let's watch Ricardo. He's not going to be fast enough to pass us here. He'd have to be right on the back of us, which, yeah, 4.5 tenths. I don't think that's close enough. Not this time around. See? You have to be making progress through that final turn, not slowing down. So it's almost like you want to be 4.5 tenths behind here. That way you can still take these turns at full speed. Meanwhile, if you're like 2 tenths or just right on his tail, you're going to have to slow down in those turns. Lose momentum. I just wish Alonso would push more. I want to see this. See. There, train, another train. Oh, we've separated from Bottas at the least. There, mini train, and Latifi in his own world. Yeah, Bottas is completely fallen away. Oh, those hard tires, yeah. So, even the guys on the hard tires are expected to be going for a 2-stop.
That's a good overtake from Alpine. We can
Alonso
take a
overtakes
look
Gasly.
now. Okay.
I never
so there we
realized
have the
Gasly
Alpine.
got past Alonso. That's cool. Yeah, right now, yeah, Gasly's battle is more important, but the fact that he's in a train means it kind of manages itself a lot better. Ricardo and Albon, on the other hand, I do kind of want to micromanage that one a little bit. Where does he pull away? I almost want to let Ricardo get past again, and then the next time we get DRS around, just absolutely fly away from him. Ricardo's faster in the final sector.
Alpine just advanced.
Looks like the same story. Yeah, even on an overtake and pushing on the tires there, we're just not able to pull away from Ricardo right now. I think those soft tires are amazing, which is exactly why I wanted to set Gasly up to go with 2 sets of softs for the second and third stints. Leaders. Oh, there it is. Nope. Okay, or not. Leader, so we want to bet a
And a
22
new
second
position,
gap.
just gained by Williams.
29. Right now we would still be coming around P17, P18. It's not good enough. Knox is doing good on his tires.
And there's
Same
an
here.
overtake from Williams.
Oh,
Let's take a
you got
closer
past
look.
him?
Now
Well, it
look
looks
at
like it's
this.
already
It's
changed.
Pierre Gasly.
These two are just battling so much, taking time off of each other. I might tell Pierre to chill just a bit. So now, yeah, Russell's gonna catch right up to the back of him on this straight. So you gotta chill here. Ricardo's still right with us. We were falling away from Alonso because of that. We just had to battle with him. Still want to go 3 more laps. 3 more laps. Catch up back to Alonso. Don't play more stupid games.
McLaren gain a position.
Yeah. Now we watch Albon, as we're going to send him absolutely flying past Ricardo on this next lap. Ricciardo's pit. Let's see what we can do with Albon when we actually push him.
It's a stonking lap.
Got fastest lap and we got out of the DRS train. Let's see if he can just pull away from Ricardo slowly now, but he has to work his ERS back up. So 1.6, we need that to grow. And grow it does. So as we're going on to lap 22, we're going to pit this lap. Let's overtake him. As there goes Perez and Hamilton. Yep, open pit options. Soft tires, here we go.
Box. Pick up the pace a bit.
Yeah.
It's our turn. Gasly goes in the pits, Alonso stays out. Where do we come out? That's the big important question. In front of Magnussen, behind a couple seconds behind Verstappen. I can live with that. It's not a bad place to be. Let's see, Bottas is... Oh. We need Verstappen to get around Bottas.
Red Bull gained a place.
As overtakes Albon. Cool. So Alonso pits. Yeah, Bottas completely is fallen away from Hamilton. Is just acting as a stopgap right now. Verstappen's going to get around him. We're going to have to push past him too, real fast. Good. That was very Palpatine of me. And that's a new fastest lap for Pierre. Alright, while we're doing that, I'm going to quickly hit... Ooh. So he tries to go down the inside of Verstappen. Why are we battling him? That's a bad idea. Alright, let's quickly hit some
Good.
pause. Go. So, Bottas and Magnussen
And a new
are
position
leaders.
just gained by Williams.
Having
Let's
to
have a
get
look.
hit.
Now we see the Williams here.
They're going to be the stopgaps. We actually managed to pass Verstappen. We just need to manage these tires to last, though. Hopefully we can catch up to Leclerc. As they're actually being held up by Albon. So if maybe once Gasly catches up to this pack, we pit Albon. So it looks more like a matter of when than if. Yeah, that's cool. Gasly not fast enough to be in the DRS yet. But it sets a new fastest lap again. So Albon, you're gonna pit now.
Okay, box.
Okay, box.
Since we're comfortably within this DRS train, we need to get Alex out of the way. So Alex has come out about 2 seconds behind Ricardo, but we could go to the end. He will not be. And we're in a position where I think we can comfortably stick onto the back of Leclerc. I think they're going to go longer than us. Or pass them easily. Yeah, Leclerc and Verstappen, what, medium.
And there's an
What
overtake from
strategy is
Williams.
that? Yep. Medium. So they're gonna stay out until about lap 48. Anywhere between 46 and 52. So if we can just kind of hold on to the back of Leclerc, maybe just ever so barely try and undercut him, we could battle for a podium again. That'd be amazing. It'd be very difficult, but it could happen. Part of me thinks I should have pushed Gasly on that lap. See if you could break the toe and then have Leclerc and Verstappen battle each other. It would have been nice. I don't know if it'll happen though.
Ferrari advance the race position.
Might try it out maybe on this next lap. I don't think we have enough ERS to do that though. Pits. So we're gonna just keep on stealing this position off of Leclerc. So I'm gonna use
And
these
a new
opportunities
position
to harvest a
just
little
gained by Williams.
to do what I was talking about. I go into neutral.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Push so we don't get taken by Verstappen here. Back to neutral. So that one starts climbing. Into 11th now. So Albon just needs to stay neutral for the rest of this race. Let's actually push him on his fuel a little bit. Gasly can just kind of hold on. Oh! Leclerc went off.
Oh, there's a spin. Let's see what happened there. Watch this. There's Leclerc. They spun the car.
Fortunately, he
What
didn't
a
get in our
disaster.
way. So gas. We're 2 seconds behind, away from
Sounds like
Hamilton.
someone's locked
We
up.
did have to stop a little bit, it seems. You know what? I'm not going to push it. If we were at like 1.2, 1.3 and then going to deploy, I think we could have caught up to Hamilton. But it looks like we did have to slow down because of that Leclerc spin. So Verstappen should pass us at some point. Let's see, where's the 22-second gap? Where would that put us if we had to box right now? About 31. So I think we're gonna score points with Gasly 100%. Unless he makes a mistake, we are going to score with Gasly. It's just a matter of where within the top 10 we're going to be. That is the question. Let's just trail behind Verstappen.
Red Bull moved up.
He's fast enough to catch Hamilton. At least he should be. So yeah, he's losing us in these corners. So if Gasly just sits behind, kind of like what he was doing with Alonso, I think we'll be comfortable. I just don't want him to attack him here. There's Albon. Still about 2 seconds behind Ricardo. And we're doing good to stay with Verstappen. Sweet. Alright. We are in good positions. Just need to stay calm, not get over aggressive like that. Come on, let's save that battery, save that fuel, because we're going to need to use it whenever we go for that undercut. Stop! Because now we're falling away from Hamilton. We want to catch up. Let's continue to harvest through these corners. Albon, still sitting about 2 seconds behind Ricardo. Gasly just keeps on making me nervous. At this point, I can't really even... Just need to micromanage him so he doesn't attack. But he's doing a good job. The tires are way better than we were expected to be. We're in a good position for what we were wanting to do. Uh-oh. I might have gotten a little too conservative there. Okay, yeah, we need to just sit on the back of him. I only just realized Alonso's about 1.3 seconds back, so we don't want to fall too far away. We just don't want Verstappen to fall back. Alonso is slowly catching us. Window entered, yep. And we got this DRS that pulls us back to Verstappen. That's going to be our safety net right now for the next at least 3 laps. We need to go at least 3 laps. I say we want to get to lap 46. Extend this stint just a little bit. And 22 is 33. So that would put us well in front of Ricardo and a good gap to Sainz. That's exactly what I would want. Where's Sainz? Yeah.
Alfa Romeo just moved up a place.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling this one stop isn't working for Alex, but we'll have to see after the next set of stops. Gasly's doing an amazing job. We're conserving fuel. We've got a lot of battery that we're going to be able to use whenever we go for that undercut. Let's see, where's Perez at? So only Latifi's been lapped so far. Who's this in front of us? That must be Latifi. Uh-oh. Let's just hope he doesn't act as a cork in the bottle for this DRS usage.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
We're gonna catch up to him right now. Yep, that just ruined it for us. Like I thought it would. Yeah, as of right now, we're going to pick this lap.
Box.
And have to go into overtake. Just to try and catch up to Verstappen.
Use overtake.
Yep.
So Alonso also got the DRS off of us there. If we can catch up to Verstappen, we can cancel the pit stop, go for 2 more laps. That's my plan. Pit options. Cancel. Needed to do that before we hit the line of no return. And we're in DRS, correct. And a new fastest lap again. Back into neutral. We're kind of watching for Schumacher on our screen. When he crosses the line, we have to collect some data. There's Norris into the pits. Alright, and hitting pause right now. Okay, and we're back. We'll finish off this race from here on out. So we are now on lap 46. I think this is when we should box to try and undercut Verstappen. Just to give us that little bit of safety net so that way we can kind of stay with him. For when the time comes... Yeah, absolutely. We're boxing this lap. Alonso's pressuring us. So, yeah, now is the time to go. Because look, we might fall out of the DRS right here. So now is the perfect time to call. Oh, I called that perfectly. Let's see if Perez finally faces some traffic. Oh, he comes out immediately behind Ocon. Alright, let's go back to Gasly. Come on. Push and overtake. These tires should be good. Oh yeah, these tires will be great to get to the end. Looks like you're excellent on our mediums. Or no, that's wrong. It's Hamilton and Verstappen now pit. Let's see if we did indeed undercut them. We got past we just stay in front of Verstappen. Oh wait, no, we did undercut Verstappen because he was in front of us. He must have been reacting to me then. So I'm gonna go neutral on there. I'll stay pushing on my fuel though. This is considerably far back. Alonso's just pitting right now. Albon is. Where's Ricardo? About 19 seconds behind us. Oh, fastest lap. That's awesome. I don't expect that to hold, but whatever. Bottas has to pit, Ocon has to pit. That's who we're watching for right now for Albon. We're just hoping for a P10 finish, points finish. It's possible. If not, we might be able to steal fastest lap with Albon at the end. Depending on who has it. Verstappen's just right on our tail still. Here goes Ocon. As we are now in a podium position, Verstappen's attacking us, but not fully yet. I want to keep pushing. Let's just keep pushing. Same with Albon.
They've locked up and gone straight on!
Yeah, I'm not worried about Stroll. We're the strategy masters right now. So we should not be battling for podiums. Yeah, we have a chance at getting a third one of the year in, what, 6 races? We were just hoping to battle for points. So my strategies work. It's maybe now I should just be putting them on both drivers because clearly we're not getting safety car situations. It's just not happening. Who's that in front of us? Is that Latifi? Don't screw me, Latifi. Not again. DRS. And Verstappen basically stays right with us. Let's go into balanced for now. Right. Let's conserve it maybe for those final stints. There goes Bottas and Magnussen into the pits. see what our interval is. 17 seconds, yellow flag.
I think there's been a lockup. Let's take a look at the
Signs.
replay. Let's have another look.
Another
Signs
bad
is the
race for
focus
Signs,
here.
then.
Just a bit too heavy on the brake.
We would come out in P12 with Alex if we pit him now. But 16 seconds, might as well just leave him where he is. Let's just watch Verstappen. We'll get strategic with our tire usage. See, yeah, Verstappen was too close there where he had to back off a little bit, it seemed. Won't be able to make a move. Who's that in front of us? Is that Schumacher? It is indeed. Hopefully he doesn't screw me. Oh, he just helped me. It might hurt me because Verstappen's probably going to have momentum now going into that front straight. So now we're going to have to use the battery a little bit. And back to neutral. Yeah, Ricardo is making progress on Albon, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we're going to secure that P10. Oh, it looks like an Alpine went off. Is that Ocon? No, that was
And that's a
Alonso.
lockup. We can take a look now. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car. It's a lockup.
So yeah, he just lost a whole bunch of momentum again. Although he is a lot closer still this time, so he's going to dive up the inside. Cool. Let's just sit with him. We don't have to do...
Red
we don't
Bull
have to do a
moved
lot.
up.
That's cool.
Here's the replay. We're just watching the Red Bull. And there they go.
It's the exact same thing we were doing before. Maybe steal fastest lap in the final lap. Bottas is making actually good progress now on Albon. That does worry me. This Gasly just breezes past Verstappen. No flag, no safety car though.
And a new position just gained by Williams. Let's
watch
take
that.
a closer look. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly.
Things you don't expect to
big
hear.
lock up there. Let's have a look. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. Oh, and there's the lockup. That's the
Yeet.
last thing they'll have wanted. The team are devastated.
Almost an unsafe re-entry. Who's that in front of us? Stroll. Verstappen's too far back this time. That's alright. Maybe Stroll can come into play. Oh shoot. I didn't even notice Alex's fuel there.
Low fuel, so be mindful of that.
Yep. That's alright. We've been excellent at conserving fuel this race, so that should come back. Verstappen's gonna get us here. It's cool. As long as Stroll doesn't screw us.
Red Bull gained a place.
Like he's doing. Oh, Stroll's pushing Verstappen. He almost screwed us, but then made up for it. So it seems like every time Verstappen takes the place from us, we're getting it back almost right away. So we'll have to see how that does for us. Like basically on the final laps. As Perez is running away with it, Hamilton's running away with P2. We have a chance for P3 though. Because yeah, even when we were leading for that time, Leclerc isn't really making progress on us. Bottas is cutting into Albon. Dive, dive, dive. And we got it back within 2 laps.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
So stay focused. Stay focused. If we get to lap 63, we're still in the lead. We're gonna have to basically push from there on out. On every single one of those straights. There's one overtaking spot. We just need to make sure we don't completely lose it. Bottas is eating into Albon. Cool. It's fine with me. Doesn't help that Albon's being absolutely screwed by a back marker. Get out of the way! Magnussen? No, that's Latifi. Latifi is screwing it up things for Albon right now. We're actually getting DRS off of him.
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
Cool. Push on the fuel from here on out, probably. That uses too much battery. Have to harvest through this part. Leclerc's right with us now too. Did Latifi pull away from Albon? He did too. Crap, Albon's gonna get past. Like on the last lap. So 65, we're going on to the very last lap right now. We're gonna have to hit full deploy for that straight.
Sounds like a spin.
Alonso with a spin. Full
Energy
deploy.
if you need it.
Copy.
This will be the last lap.
Currently P11.
That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Let's use that battery, Alex.
You have the overtake.
Yes.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Clear the lockup. Gasly's gonna finish
Perez
P3.
has crossed the line first.
Alright, Albon's
So let's
full
check
to
the flags.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Everybody enjoyed that. Well done. When you stop, it will be P1. Wait 5 seconds and then P0.
Tyres haven't really come down.
That's okay.
Yeah, roger.
Go. You got Ricardo coming. You got Ricardo coming. Don't let him pass you.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Check the DRS.
Yep, copy.
A really high and a really low for this team this week. One strategy that worked great, one strategy that didn't work at all. It's another podium for the team though.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars.
You didn't win the
What
race.
a beautiful
Stop doing the
sight
number
that
one.
is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone involved.
Is that the same podium as the last race?
The Frenchman was in sublime
think it might have been
form
Perez,
today, fully
Russell,
deserving of his podium
And
finish
Gasly
here.
in the last race.
But there we have
Oh no,
those
it's
three
Perez
drivers that
Leclerc,
are taking
guys.
home the silverware, along with the most valuable points.
Alright, that's another podium.
Williams have got to be happy with their results here. This was good work.
I wouldn't be surprised if the team's performance today won them a lot of new fans.
The end this weekend in 5th place in the constructor standings.
For the next Grand Prix, make sure you join us at the renowned city circuit of Monaco. Prepare yourselves for one of the most legendary rounds of the season.
That'll be fun. I can definitely have some fun with strategy in Monaco. So yeah, driver of the day could go to Yuki, could go to Pierre. I think I would go to Pierre in this situation, considering he once again held off Verstappen for a podium position into Williams for the second week in a row. So we are single-handedly making Verstappen look bad. He should have qualified on pole then, or at least tried to. So yeah, Perez takes a clean sweep of the points. Yeah, he got the win, fastest lap, and pole position for 27 points. It's a great weekend for him. I'm gonna have to come up with a new formatting thing for that. And yeah, P3 for Gasly. Albon just ever so barely didn't get that P10, and then that lockup, he almost lost P11. Let's see what happened at the back. Latifi. Wow. That was a good race. It's nice to not get left. Spain always does us good. Let's see, Pierre jumps up another couple spots. Albon falls down to P9. Wow, Pierre just took a big lead over Alex. Meanwhile, Alex had it kind of in hand with him for a little bit. Bottas falls, Leclerc continues to climb. Even with the mistakes that Leclerc was making, he's still climbing up the standings. We're starting to see Alfa Romeo fall away. Let's see, Red Bull, Mercedes stay at the top. Ferrari moves past Alfa Romeo. We're right behind Alfa Romeo now. Alpine makes good progress, and then the bottom 4 team do absolutely nothing. Alright, with all that said now, let's end this video off, and then I shall see you in Monaco.